Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing an MSF interview with the People's Envoy, Updog.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. Alright, you ready to get into it?
Yep.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
first up, what are your opinions on the Old Man Logan stargating?
Well, since I've been playing since for a long time, like 5 years now, I think, something like that. Like the old legendary events used to kind of have that. And so I'm kind of used to it. It sucks it's definitely a step down compared to like the Horsemen and the other trials that they've done. But for me, I'm kind of used to it, so it wasn't as big of a deal. But I think it's like the old legendaries, like Phoenix and uh, Omega Red and things like that, Iron Man. As long as you got the stars and like whatever gear level they were recommending, like I don't remember what it was exactly, but if you just got those gear levels, it was super easy to get through those missions or whatever, those nodes, and you got your shards. Well, for the Old Man Logan trial, you had to have the stars and you had to have them super duper built up to even to get that score to get to the final like 7 yellow or even the 6 yellow. So yeah, it's something they've done in the past, only just making it a little bit harder.
Now, with all the community feedback and the feedback from the envoys, do you think that this will happen again? Like, for the next legendary?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them if it did happen again. Um, Even with all the feedback, because I think they're trying to make legendaries harder to get because they haven't been doing as many legendaries lately. Like if you look back, like the Horsemen, obviously there was four in that 1 year. So far in 2024, we've only had one, and we're what more than halfway through 2024. So if this was like the Horseman years or uh, the previous legendary years, we usually had about 4 to 5 legendaries a year or so. So I think they're trying to space them out more and that way, and they're also making them a little bit harder to get. So like I said, they might do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but they could also not do the Stargate, but also make the nodes that much more harder than the Old Man Logan trials. So what? I mean, I don't know which one I prefer. I'd probably prefer like a Old Man Logan trial. Well, yeah, I'd probably prefer no Stargate, but make it super hard, make it challenging, give the free to play a little bit more of an opportunity to try and get the get the character at high stars if they can figure out a way to do it.
Now, with that, they said in a blog that Captain Britain will not be required. So, would they
Right.
tune it to where you can use the Iron Man version? But they would,
So
but it would be a lot easier.
supposedly, supposedly, yeah. I would hope that they would do it that way. Um, it would be. I think that it would be doable, but it would be challenging to not have Captain Britain and get through it. They also have Annihilators too, which the Annihilators team is crazy with the crazy stats and everything. So those nodes are probably going to be really tough too. Probably going to require uh, pretty built up Annihilators, I would say.
Okay. Um. Now, speaking of like the feedback, what is the best way of an ordinary player like myself to get my opinions heard by Scopely?
I think there's a couple ways. You can talk to an envoy, and hopefully they'll pass it along. The I still think there's a good option to go through the player's voice, pass along feedback there. If you like myself, I got invited into a focus group at the Player's Voice. So if they ask for volunteers for another focus group, then I would get into there. Um, and then just if you make like a Reddit post or something on Facebook, even Twitter, they check and stuff like that. As long as you're respectful and don't say, "Oh, this sucks," and that's all you say, right? Like Captain Britain sucks. His release sucks. If you give them like actual feedback on like what they should do differently or tell them why it's bad instead of just saying this is bad, then they are more willing to take your feedback and listen to your feedback and stuff like that. Um, just like in real life, like if uh, I don't know, Flint, if you were working and your boss said that you you do a crappy job, you wouldn't know what you're doing a crappy job at, right? So they need to know more details than just this sucks or this feels bad. They need to know why. And it also helps to say like what would you change about it or whatever. So
Um, so we recently got a new raid team, the Orcus. Well, it was
yep.
announced.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know what this. What do you think about the release method that they are turning more towards, where it's taking 20 plus days, which was shown with Hank, where it took 23 days, I believe. It's been
Yeah.
20 something days from Gladiator's initial release, and we still don't have his free play
Hmm.
event. How
Yep.
long do you think it will take for like Orcus to be out free to play?
Hopefully it's like in that 10 to 14 day range, but I could see why Hank took longer, but I don't understand why Gladiator's taken longer. And the envoys I know we've been bringing that up and asking, well, what's going on here? Why do we not have, you know, why does Gladiator not have his free to play event? And so their response was, we'll be looking into that. And so I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's not a pattern. If it does become a pattern, then that's bad. Um, I don't see a reason why they need to. They've they've given all these advantages to the spenders. I don't see this advantage being any more helpful or I don't I don't know. The Sorry, let me start over. Um, the way that the free to play event releases have been in the past has been just fine. So I don't know why they have to extend it out more. So.
Yeah. Um, Purple ISO was released recently. I believe
Hmm.
3 weeks ago,
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
Um, when do you think? Currently, the only way of getting abundance of quantity of it is from the leaderboard events,
Hmm.
which free to play is only getting 50,000 or so the radioactive treats every week, which is not
Right.
enough for one character.
Hmm.
When do you think Purple ISO will be more accessible based off past experiences with Blue and Green ISO?
I think they'll probably, they're still sprinkling into events. I think, so they'll do that. The store has, let's see, I'm just looking it up here. Store has 21 more days, so I'm guessing Dark Dimension 8 will be close to, or like soon after that 21 days. And then they might wait. I don't know. They'll probably still sprinkle it in events and stuff during that time after the store. Well, yeah, they just won't have the credits, I guess. But they'll probably still sprinkle in the orbs, the credits for the orbs and the ions and stuff like that. But I don't think they'll actually like have a farmable thing for probably, if I were to guess, like 2 months maybe after DD8 starts up. That'd be my guess.
Yeah. Now, on sort of the topic of Dark Dimension, the amount of
Mhm.
gold and like chain materials and dark promotions we are getting, do you think we're getting a fair amount of each of them? Because free to
No, I
play
think
currently is getting next to none dark promotion credits.
yeah, yeah. The direct promotion credits is definitely something that we've brought up to them. Like it's a big crunch, I know, for free to play. Golden training mats is, I think, is more of a thing where you kind of just have to budget yourself every day. Don't spend over X amount, and that X amount is different for different people depending on how much gold you're getting from like war payout or other things. So I think probably a safe number is like I don't know 1.5 million gold per day. I think. Um, and then the training mats too. Like you just got to be careful of that. So I TPCs are definitely ones that I think they need to increase. Gold, they've been doing a pretty good job of, I think, with the showcases and other like events giving gold. The training mats, though, I think has been something that they probably could increase a little bit more.
Now, going back to something I mentioned earlier, is we're getting a character every week. Do
Yep.
you think that this is pushing the game in the right direction, or is it making the game more paid to have fun and enjoyment because
Mm,
of a new character every week? Not everyone can
right.
keep up.
Yeah. It, I don't know. They try to, I think it's like every maybe 10 days, 9 or 10 days, but yeah, it's pretty close to a week. Um, but as far as like, I think the taking the enjoyment out of it is really the time that we've had to wait between when the offers are released and then when free to play event happens, right? That's I think is sucking the fun out of things because you see the character initially get released and then with Hank and with what's his name, Gladiator. we've it's just been so long. It's like the excitement goes away, right? So that's definitely hope they go back to what they were doing at least, where the free to play event was usually 10 days after, 7 to 10 days after the character gets released. And it'd be nice to get another month long character. I think I didn't mind the month long characters, so that's always a it takes a little longer, but at least it feels like you're getting somewhere. You're getting some kind of progress made with a month long character. So,
Okay. Um. So when before they announced Captain Britain, they announced epic characters, which are
yep.
Zombie Iron Man, Zombie Juggernaut, and now Captain Britain. Um,
Hmm.
do you see a future character who is an epic have a similar release method to Captain Britain, where you have to have 5 stars on X amount of characters before you can even buy offers for this one character?
I think if it's a character that goes on like a full team that has other new characters, then yeah. But like since Zim and Zuggs are both epic characters as well, I'm kind of it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they bring out the next Undying character. So, like, are they going to require 5 stars on Hela, Zim, and Zuggs to get that character to get the next Undying character? I don't know. It's because Zim and Hela are farmable, Zuggs isn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But like, yeah, if it's on a full team, if it's a character that goes on a full team, then yeah, I can definitely see them doing that again. Unfortunately, I think they made a lot of money doing that method, which just makes them think that yes, it is a good method and we should keep doing it. But the reason why it did good was because people felt pressured to buy it, and they did. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think that's probably going to happen again.
Uh, Now, again, on the topic of everyone's favorite pay to play character, Captain Britain. Um, he was reworked, I believe, 3 times. Correct? Do
I
you?
don't remember. I know it was at least once.
Yeah, it was a couple times. I feel. I could be
Okay.
wrong. Um, but he was only good in Crucible,
Yep.
and then they reworked him again for War. So now he has
Yep.
good use in War. Do you think he should have been reworked as many times as he was?
Mm, I don't know. Probably not because I don't know. I don't like how like every single team every single new team everybody thinks, "Oh, they should be good everywhere." I think it's okay to have teams that are just good in one area. Is it nice that they're good everywhere? I don't know. I don't know if that's really a good thing to have. Like, do I want I guess the classic example is the Extreme X-Men. They're really good in raids, but they're also really good in war and they're really good in Crucible. Do I really want a team, a raid team to beat my Crucible team? No, not really. No. So I'm more of the opinion that 2 game modes at most is what a team should be good in. But if it's more than 2 game modes, then it's totally broken.
Now, Odin at is officially in the game. Like you can go and
Hmm.
view him and stuff.
Yep.
Um, and at 7.5 G8 G19 Purple ISO 3, he has 11 million health and like 500k
Yep.
damage. It's something
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
Do you think his kit seems fair to you? Like for
His kid is
how?
insane.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
insane.
his kid's insane. And the entry to get into DD8 seems like it's going to be easier. Well, time will tell. Um, seems like it'd be easier for not just spenders, but I think, well, I don't know. I think free to play might get him easier than Mephisto, as long as they open up some of the purple ISO in the next, let's say, month. Then I think he'll be easier to get than Mephisto was. um, but yeah, I get that he's a huge character in Marvel, super powerful character. Um, they definitely made his kit to match that, but yeah, it's going to be crazy because of the how easily the spenders are going to be able to get him. I think
Mm.
definitely
Now,
going to. It feels like it might push the free to play, gap in between spenders and free to play might push that gap even bigger.
now with his special clearing exhaust,
Hmm.
what do you think his importance in the game will be? Like,
Well, so his special's at eight energy cooldown, and he doesn't get energy from anyone like unless you like have characters that give him energy, but he doesn't get any extra energy on that special. It's just his ultimate that he gets like extra energy for. I can't remember exactly from what, but so like it's good in a sense that you don't have to double sack him like you do Mephisto, if you play it right, you can only single sack him, and you'll be fine. So that part's good, but yeah, the clearing exhaust and or clearing exposed rather, right? Uh, it's just it's going to be crazy, and just have to be something that we have to work around, I guess.
Now, the most important question of all: as an envoy for X amount of
Mhm.
years, what has been your favorite change that the envoy program has gotten in game?
I think overall the farmability, reducing the farmability time, like in between the character initial release and then when we get them farmable. It's taken a little bit of a step back, I think, with this whole change to bumps, and then who knows? Hopefully, uh, the character release to the free to play event, that gap gets closed up a little bit compared to what it has been. But I think overall, still the farmability within 4 months of the character being released is probably the biggest, best thing we've done for the game. I mean, we're not solely responsible. We were, I think, MSF PV had some push on that as well. But yeah, I think it's a team effort between us and them, and trying to get Scopely to see what is good for the players, whether it's spenders or free to play. And yeah, that still like because you probably remember that it used to be anywhere from like 6 to 9 to 12 months for a character to be farmable. So I still think that's probably the best thing that has happened. Probably a second thing would be how I was trying to think here. So the diamond orbs, when they first told us about it, um, it was, I mean, it was going to be set up like it is now, where you have to have 7 red, but they didn't tell us that we were going to be able to like get red stars a lot easier, red star orbs and everything a lot easier. So we thought that was the worst idea they'd ever had, and they didn't. Apparently, um, they didn't know the full plan when they told us, and so that's why we pushed for the farmability of the characters too. So yeah, I think that's probably the best thing we've done, and we're working every day to try and suggest improvements to the devs. And sometimes they listen, sometimes they write it down, and they have to prioritize it. So it's just kind of a thing that all we can do is pass along what everybody's telling us. And if we think it's a huge issue, we'll try to push it as much as we can. But sometimes things just have to come down to the priority of whatever they're working on and how much manpower it's going to take and things like that.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. You can find Updog's YouTube and Twitch in the description. Go check him out. I'm on his Twitch 90% of the time. Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Have a
you
good
are.
day.
All right.